Hello everybody, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transform Elements Black Widow, the Legends class Black Arachnia figure. I picked this figure up over at sirtoys.com. The figure comes in this svelte little box with the really quite excellent color scheme going on here. One thing I do want to point out is the figure appears to be badly mistransformed here in the back of the box, but let's get into it. Here is the spider mode, right here. The figure is packaged in robot mode, but today we are going to be starting in bug mode. This little bug is super tiny, like really tiny, like Legends class tiny. That's wingspan right there, Legends class wingspan. Wingspan should be available here in the US in a 2-pack with pounds any day now. The bug mode, it works fine. It's just small. Yes, that's the robot's head sticking out of her thorax. At this size class, I really don't expect it to be much in terms of like superposability or anything, and it isn't, and it's fine. Transformation into the robot mode does require some part swapping, unfortunately. First, you remove the pincers. That is the primary thing missing from the back of the box. Then come back to the back of the figure and split the thorax apart and pull off this piece, which is the Telltale Black Widow, well, pretty much insignia, and then plug the bug pincers into the bottom to form the figure's weapon, the bow casting gun thing. So go ahead and put that off to the side. The rest of the transformation is incredibly easy from bug mode to robot mode. From robot mode to bug mode is a different story altogether. To start off with, come to the pincers, or the mandibles in the front, and fold them up. They are next to impossible to flip out with your fingers once it's transformed into robot mode. I needed to use a spudger in order to get those out. And then what you want to do is, so let me push the head down, pull the head all the way out, reach underneath, and pull the arms out, the robot mode arms, and you saw a part of the thorax fall off. Don't worry, that happens all the time. Flip the spider head in, and then bring it down, and then push it up into the cavity like that. So then we will come to the bottom of the spider belly and flip it up, fold the head up, and just kind of rest it in place. Come to the sides of the back of the bot mode, or the bug mode, and pull off those panels, and then straighten out the legs, and do the same thing for the leg that fell off. These legs, the ball joints, they're not loose. They just fall off very easily. But they go back on pretty darn easily. Then we can straighten the arms out, grab the boobs, and flip them around, fold them down, and peg them into these little pegs that are sticking off the robot's chest. And the boobs are soft rubber, which is weird. And there we go. That is the robot mode. The figure comes with these thorax pieces, the weapon that splits into two parts, which are used in vehicle mode, in beast mode, and then it also comes with a separate section to replace this. So if you don't like having the bug eyes, you could replace it with a separate section that looks exactly like this, except without the gold. The robot mode is a reasonable facsimile of Black Arachnia. The colors all work pretty darn well. The gold works for the most part, and the figure is proportioned somewhat adequately. It's no masterpiece figure, mind you, but for what it cost and the size of the figure, it works fine. Head sculpt isn't perfect. But then again, at this size class, it's not going to be perfect. You just can't do it at this size class. Posability for Black Widow. Head is on a ball joint. Shoulders are on, I want to say double hinges, but it feels and looks like a ball joint. Ball joint in the elbow, no hand articulation. Legs, ball joint. There is a swivel in there, but it doesn't move much, and when you do try to move it, it pops the legs off. Then multiple jointed knees and a jointed shin, and just a basic foot. So you could get the figure into some okay poses, none of which look particularly great. Another weird thing about the figure, even though it's supposed to be Legends size class, it's actually much shorter than all the Legends class figures that I have. In fact, next to the Prime Masters, it's the smallest figure that I own, I think. All of the pictures that I saw from Transform Element makes it look like a much better figure than I feel like it is. I don't like this figure, and that's a shame. I could see it being easily rebuilt into Tarantulas, but I don't know how well it's sold. I honestly don't. I really am not fond of this. I wish I was. I wish I could sit here and tell you, hey, this is great, but it isn't. Now, I picked this figure up over at CFR. Please go down to the link in the description to pick it up there if you feel like picking it up. I'm not a fan of this figure, unfortunately, but you might be, and that's fine. It's okay to have differences of opinion. So folks, let me know what you think of this figure down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Follow me over on Twitter. Subscribe to me here on YouTube. And please be sure to follow the link in the description to my Patreon. Your monthly financial contribution is going to help me keep the lights on. Thank you so much for watching this video review. I have been Baltmatrix, and I will catch you next time.